What is going on, guys? KindaFool here with my Season 3 finale episode review of The Walking Dead. But before we get into that, I'm bringing back a old channel video thing. I'm just adding on to this video. It is the infamous Chocolate Bunny commentary. I will not be doing this whole review because it'll be like 30 minutes long, and I did not like the first Chocolate Bunny review. So just doing this because it's Easter. I've already done this once, so it's gonna suck. But I mean, YOLO take two, I guess. Garbage. No. Gotta get the garbage here really quick. It's bad. Open up the water. No. I just don't like bulk chocolate, man. I just YOLO Chocolate Bunny, man. No. Fuck you, J Mills. Fuck you, man. Peer pressure. But that is not what the video is about. This video is about the season finale review of The Walking Dead. And there will be spoilers, so go away from the video if you have not caught up to the Season 3 finale of The Walking Dead. Leave now. Once again, I remind you, there are spoilers. Leave now if you are not caught up to the current episode. As you've seen the title, that's the episode I'm reviewing, so leave. That chocolate, I'm not gonna lie, I have canker sores, and that chocolate really fucking hurt. Also, comic book spoilers, I'll mention it before and give you a little time skip. And I also done one take of this, had audio problems, so yes. Hopefully I don't have audio problems in this video. Which I should know. I listened to the video, which I didn't do the first time. So I'm gonna try to run through this as fast as possible because I'm doing this for the second time. I got my thoughts gathered a little bit more, so let's get right into it. Starts off with the governor beating the hell out of Milton, and Milton brings up Penny. The whole thing, like, Milton just, Milton's done with the governor's done with Milton, and the governor kind of says Penny would be afraid of him, so get that whole thing. Milton asks where Andrea is, throws him in the torture room where Andrea is. He's like, oh. And then the governor is like, oh, kill me, sorry, I have Facebook open. Andrea, is in there, and he's like, oh no. And he's like, he has a torture thing. She's kind of, I would guess, he didn't do anything to her, but she's kind of in a struggle. He's like, go pick up the tools, I don't need them. And he's about to leave the room, he's like, hold on. He's like, do you want to redeem yourself? Gives a knife to Milton and says, kill Andrea. He's like, okay, because he's in a state where he's just like, he's drunk pretty much, and he's going, and he turns around trying to stab the governor. Governor stabs him. Milton is gonna die, but there's more for Milton. Do not worry. Back at the prison, Rick and company are packing up and leaving the prison, as we, the viewers, think. He hallucinates Lori. Lori, we're sick of your shit, okay? And Daryl brings up Merle and what he did for the group. Carol kind of is like, yeah, okay. So, nice Merle mention, as I mentioned last week's review, Merle was one of my favorite characters, so kind of sad to see him go, but nice that he got a little homage in this episode. Also, Michonne forgives Rick for the whole governor offer thing. Kind of, she's like, she basically to the point where it says, I need you. This is our whole thing. I'm with you, death or not, I'm with you. You got me because you saved me, and I need you. So basically, she's conceded her lone wolf status. Woodbury, the governor, with his skeevy tricks, is like, oh, the prison attacked us, killed 8 of our men, let's go attack them. So that's what they do. Tyree says, no. And him and Sasa stay back and watch the walls. He's like, there's a tense scene where, like, is he gonna shoot him in the open in front of everybody? But he's like, got a fake smile and is like, yeah, you can stay. Thanks if you leave. He's just trying to hold it back. So they're safe now. Governor and company arrive at the prison. They fall for the trap of the barbed wire stuff. So one of the trucks getting taken out. The grenade launched one of the towers where they first knocked down the prison wall. Well, not the prison wall, the prison gate with the one red truck. And they get the 50 cal, start unloading that in other towers, clear out the walkers so they can run up. And they have the robotic heartbeat that they do. Fantastic music. Barry Query, the guy that does it, fantastic job. I was terrified the whole time because I'm like, is Rick there or is he not? What's the plan? And that just added the more fear. Back at the torture room, Milton is telling Andrea to kill him. Basically, when she gets out, he planned on doing that from the beginning. There's a pliers behind her, so she starts struggling towards the pliers. The governor and they go in the tombs where Rick had cleared it out, where he had that little anger thing where Merle knocked Michonne out and dragged her out. So they're in there. They get ambushed by Rick. You don't see them, but they throw smoke grenades. The prison alarms go off, and there are walkers in there. Everybody starts fleeing out, and then Glenn and Maggie start firing upon them. They're kind of trapped a little bit, but they have like, I don't know, I would guess there was more than 20 people there, and against 2, so they kind of they got out of that little pickle. But prison had a plan, and they were ready for it. Back at Woodbury, Tyrese is having his suspicions. You kind of thinking, does he find Andrea before Milton, turns or something? You get that little feel. Just a little thing that they're growing a little bit weary every time you see them in a Woodbury scene. Then back to the Milton Andrea room. Kind of this whole thing, why'd you stay at Woodbury when you found out your friends were alive? Andrea, this whole time while she's in here, she's redeemed. She's looking back at her past and what she could have done better. And she's here, she's like, I didn't want anybody to die. She's wanted to save the governor even. And Milton's like, you gotta hurry up. I'm about to lose it. And she starts faster for the players. Back at the prison, they're back in the woods with Herschel, Beth, and Carl. There's a lot of speculation that they would do this. They would throw those 3 back there with the baby to protect it and be the last stance. There's a kid that fled from the prison. Not to mention before, in the prison they all fled, and the governor was not happy about it, so they backed off the prison. And kid from Woodbury shows up. Carl's just like, put your gun down. He's like, okay, I give up. And Carl just shoots him point blank, like no regret. And it's just big things for Carl in this episode. Early in the episode, he actually shunned off Rick when he tried to talk to him. Back after the Woodbury's fleed, Rick, Daryl, and Michonne decide that they're gonna go chase after him. It's a comic book thing. They do this in the comic book too, but there's different people involved and there's a different scenario. I won't go deep in the comic book spoilers because it's just a thing in the comic book during this arc. And Rick confronts Carl about about killing one of the kids, and he lies to him. He's like, he drew on us. While Herschel actually told Rick that, he did that. Like, he just shot the kid point blank. He didn't draw us or anything. Herschel had to smack him. Not literally smack him, but just be like, scream at him, be like, stop your shit, Rick. He shot that kid point blank. You got a problem in your hand. And then this is where just the whole episode just elevates and just be like, your mouth, it just opens. You're like, your jaw breaks. Your jaw goes missing. And he's pissed off, like I said. He's like, he didn't want to back out. Everybody did. He gets in front of the caravan, and he's like, well, why you back up? He's confronting. Everybody starts confronting him, and he's like, starts shooting everybody up, killing the army. While Martinez and Shumpert standing and looking horror. They're like, what do we do? They should have shot him, but they didn't. What did they do? They won't be welcome at the prison because they attacked the prison. They know that. So they're thinking, and they're like, oh, okay, we gotta deal with this, I guess. And they drive off, the three of them, and where do they go? I do not know. You'll find out later in the review. You know, you already watched the episode, but you know. Back with Andrea Milton. Milton's dead. And he's starting to move his fingers, so he's coming back to the second life. While Andrea is struggling with the pliers, she drops him, of course. Back at the prison, Glenn and Maggie are like, we'll protect the prison. And they're like, okay. So they leave. Then Rick Denham was shown find the aftermath of what happened, what the governor did. Karen shows up. She's in the army vehicle that that the governor stopped, and she's hiding in there. They find her, and I'm not sure if she explained the situation, what happened. Pretty sure that they know by the time when this thing settles. Back with Milton and Andrea, Milton rises as a walker. Andrea is shuffling towards cutting the vines off. She gets it the last second. They pan out of the door, and you hear screaming. You're just like, just random screams. And one of Andrea's screams, you hear a body pop, and then you kind of hear a second one. I'm not sure, but you definitely hear one of them, and you don't know what happens. Commercial goes. Now at the Woodbury, back at Woodbury at night, the governor has not returned. He doesn't return at the end of this episode. You don't know where he is. You know, I'll talk a little bit more. But there's a shootout and everything. You know, Tyrese is on watch. He's terrible on the shot. Karen gets out, explains what happened. Governor shot everybody down. They need to get out of here. She doesn't say get out of here, but Rick explained, you know, you can come join the group. Pretty much what he's saying. And he actually explains that Andrea never came back to the prison. So they're like, oh. And Rick's like, we probably know where she is. They go to the torture room. They see blood coming out of the door. She's like, oh, okay, Milton's dead. They open the door. Milton is dead for the second time. You see Andrea's feet kind of there. She's tired. She's been in that room for a while. I don't know how long, but it's been a while. And she's on the last part of her adrenaline. And she was bitten by Milton. So I want to talk about this. 13 minutes. I want to fast this up because this is the second time I'm doing this. She wasn't the most beloved character. She was probably the most hated character after Lori died. But it's sad to see her go. She was here from the beginning of season 1, and you know it sucks to see her go. Really, she wasn't the best character, but she's been around for season 1 from the beginning. And personally, going this episode, I'm like, they're not going to kill her. They're going to try to redeem her, see how the fans react. And I thought the big major death would be the governor dying, but it was Andrea dying. Last week's Merle scene was really tough to watch. I think this one will be tougher, really. Even though I did like Andrea, the character, the comic book character is like a Daryl, in my opinion. But it's gonna be a tough one because the music they're playing, you see Michonne just unleashing the emotions. Rick, you know, he's kind of like, nah, man. Tyrese, you know, you saw him get in there. Daryl, they have this whole thing talking about, you know, Andrea's is saying, like, you know, she made mistakes. There's, you know, she's basically just regretting everything she's doing. Like what Lori did at death. She regretted ever messing around with Shane, and you know, Andrea's doing the same thing. You know, she's just like, you know, she's just talking, and she's like, you know, I fucked up, pretty much what she said. And the group waits outside. They have this nice scene where you just see them there waiting. You hear a gunshot, and it goes black. I think it went. I'm not sure if it went commercial, but it went black. And you know, I just want to. a lot of people, when I uploaded the first part and it had no sound, that's what happened. I was reading the forums while I was uploading, and she was, a lot of people were disappointed by the finale. I wasn't disappointed. I was satisfied. I really thought it'd be a bigger finale, Governor dying, Woodbury falling. They hinted at being no cliffhangers and it would set up season 4, which it did, but not as much as I thought it would be. But it was a satisfying finale. I'm not disappointed at all. They can't just be doing. I think Norman Reedus, the guy who plays Daryl, explained this good on Talking Dead. They just can't keep doing the same thing. That's not good TV. So if they were gonna do like a farm type of thing, that'd be redundant. So they slowed it down. They're like, okay, we're gonna have a character die. We're gonna have a character nobody expected to die. Everybody expected the governor to die, but Andrea dies, and she, there was on a forum I was reading, somebody's like, a lot of people don't like her, but it's sad to see her go. Like, it was just that type of feeling. Yes, a lot of people hate her, but a lot of the haters probably watching that scene, in my opinion, like, this sucks. Like, we hated her, and seeing just the way it went down, you love to hate her pretty much, and I was satisfied by the ending. It came out of nowhere. There was actually an article that said there was a death out of left field, and I'm like, oh, Herschel or something. I really came to this episode thinking prison would lose a couple members. Andrea was technically part of both groups, so you can argue that, but losing her open, there's whole moral everything backing behind her. I think her dying actually evolves the group, and how they could have saved her. They could have saved her. Andrea did kill herself, not suicide, but by the mistakes she made, the decisions she made. But Rick didn't let her come, and she's like, no, you go back to the Woodbury. She's like, oh, okay. Actually, I think she might have went like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Woodbury. But I think when she returned and the way they treated her, kind of pushed her away. And you can argue on how this resulted in her dying. Her mistakes were definitely a big part of it, but could Rick pushing her away and treating her as an outsider kind of affect it? Yeah, but it was a satisfying ending. And then actually, this wasn't even technically the ending, but I just saw a lot of people hate on the finale. You shouldn't hate on the finale. If they keep doing the same thing, then you kind of do, but they went different. And Andrea dying, like I said, I didn't like her character. I didn't like how the character went, but when she died, I was like, wow, speechless. I just couldn't be. When I did the first review, I was trying to think of words and I couldn't, and I'm gonna rewatch that episode right away. I usually don't do that. I usually wait till the next week when the next episode premieres. But I think this episode I'll probably watch Monday afternoon or something, and embrace it more. But it was like a lot of people all the action went down. Well, it's a terrible episode, but I don't want to get into it. But I think this was a very satisfying finale, and I saw a lot of Andrea haters be like, you know what, it does suck to see her go, and the finale was good, the ending to but everybody has their opinions. I'm not telling you what your opinion should be, but I felt like it was a satisfying ending. Comment below what you thought about the ending. Was it a good one? Was it satisfying, at least for you? But it wasn't great, but satisfying. Was it bad? Why was it bad for you? But you have to really look at the episode. You just can't be like, oh, Andrea died, bad finale. She kind of regretted the things she done. It's just a whole. They did a lot of backtracking in this episode, to certain scenes in season 3, season 1, season 2. They did a lot of flashback type of things, not literally flashing back, but bringing up certain stuff. And I just think, Also, going back, I want to talk about Carl really quick. He actually did. His reason behind killing the kid was well, you didn't kill Andrew, he killed Lori, mom, and Merle, I'm not sure what he said, but he brought up Merle though. and he brought up Laurie, which he was just punching Rick. I forgot to mention that, but that was a big jump for Rick. So now we go into the actual ending of the episode where Rick and go back to the prison. They brought one of the Woodbury buses. Tyrese and Sasha joined them with, I think, the rest of Woodbury on who was left. And we don't know where the governor is. I don't know, man. But I'll leave it at that. I think the governor... See, quick season 4 predictions. We're getting pretty... I did like a 24-minute video the first try, so I'm trying to get to that point. But season 4 predictions, I think the governor will show up some point in the first half of season 4. In this type of universe, they're not just going to make him leave and come back. Merle died. Merle cut his hand off. We don't know when. Morgan, Rick left him. He didn't die. His son died. Came back. We saw him this season. What do they do with the governor? Do they bring him back right away, or do they wait till season 5 or something? Where they go get Morgan. He killed Morgan, or he's some comic book storyline. I'm not going to mention comic book storylines, but does he show up at another place and he's different? Is Martinez alive? Still Shumper alive? But personally, I think he shows up. I do think that season 4 is going to be like a season 2. It's not going to be as bad as the first half of season 2 because the writers know not to do that. The guy who is the new showrunner, Scott Gimple, wrote the Morgan episode, so you can expect a lot of Morgan-esque episodes. Also, give a round of applause to Glenn Mazzar. A lot of people disagree with a lot of stuff he did in the show, but he brought the show out of a hole that a lot of people probably couldn't have, and he did a fantastic job. And now he's gone, but he did a great job. There's going to be hate for him, but you do got to give him props for bringing the show out of a hole some might not have been able to. But that is it for the Walking Dead reviews. It comes back in fall. Some video updates. The Let's Plays will be coming back if you subscribe to my channel for the Walking Dead reviews. I do Let's Plays of video games. I will be doing Breaking Bad reviews. First episode is July 15th, so 2 months from now. I do watch Game of Thrones, but I don't do reviews on that because it's complicated to do with stuff like that because of the names. It's just something I would have a tough time doing. Well, Walking Dead's easy because you got Rick, Carl, simple names, and I know the comic books. I know the whole thing of the show. So what you can expect is Breaking Bad, the last 8 episode reviews, Let's Plays. Next Friday, I might be doing a character analyst video. I was like, I'm going to talk about Andrea, and then she died. So, I don't know. Look for it on Friday, because that's when the episode premieres in Britain, on TV. Britain and England. So, thanks for watching the reviews. If you enjoyed them, subscribe. They will be back in fall. If you're looking for Breaking Bad, if you're interested in Breaking Bad, I'll be doing the same type of thing like with these videos. And Let's Plays and other videos might be coming along, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment below what you thought of the episode, what I could do better with these reviews, what I can add to it, especially with the Breaking Bad ones. If you have any suggestions, comment below. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next fall with the Walking Dead reviews. But I will not be, I'll still be doing videos on my channel, so subscribe. Give my other videos a chance. And I hope you like them. So, that is it for me. I hope you have a nice Walking Dead break. I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I hope you enjoyed this whole thing I'm doing. I will see you next time. I was about to say fall, but I'm doing other videos, so just subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Links are below. Thanks for watching, and see you later.